Pope, the visionary leader who united the Pueblos and drove out the Spanish. In the high desert of what is now northern New Mexico, an ancient spirit of resistance once ignited a revolution. The year was 1680, and the sun-scorched lands of the Rio Grande Valley had long been shadowed by oppression. For nearly a century, Spanish conquistadors had forced the Pueblo people to abandon their languages, their faiths, and even their names. But from within this darkness rose Pope, a Tewa shaman whose vision and cunning would change the course of history, reminding the world that even the most fractured communities can unite, fight back, and reclaim their destiny. Seeds of Rebellion. Pope, whose name means ripe squash in Tewa, was born around 1630 in Okai-Owinge, one of the many Pueblo villages dotting the rugged terrain of the Southwest. By the mid-17th century, Spanish colonial rule had become a daily nightmare for the region's indigenous peoples. Catholic missionaries destroyed sacred objects and outlawed ancient ceremonies. Forced labor and tribute weighed heavily on every family. Tensions finally exploded in the harsh summer of 1675, when Pope and 46 other Pueblo spiritual leaders were arrested by Spanish authorities, accused of sorcery, publicly flogged in Santa Fe Ibrius main plaza, while some were executed. These men became living symbols of both suffering and survival. But the true impact of their ordeal was yet to come. The spark of a secret plot. After his release, Pope retreated to the remote, sacred caves near Taos Pueblo. There, he gathered representatives from 24 Pueblo communities, people who spoke at least 6 different languages and lived across 400 miles of desert and mountains. What united them was pain and a longing for freedom. Pope's genius was not just in his determination, but in his understanding of the challenges. How could a scattered, multilingual people rise as one? How could they coordinate a revolt without alerting their watchful oppressors? The answer was both simple and ingenious. A system of knotted cords, or yucca ropes, delivered in person by trusted runners. Each knot marked a day remaining before the uprising, a countdown to liberation. When the last knot was untied, the revolt would begin. The day the desert roared. On August 10, 1680, the signal was given. Across the Rio Grande and its tributaries, Pueblo men and women rose in unison, catching the Spanish off guard. Horses were captured, transforming the rebels' speed and mobility. Water supplies to Spanish settlements were cut off, and Catholic churches, symbols of cultural erasure, were set ablaze. In a matter of days, the Pueblos overwhelmed the colonists, killing around 400 Spaniards, including several dozen priests. The survivors, roughly 2,000 men, women, and children, fled Santa Fe, forced to trek southward along the El Camino Real. For the first time in nearly a century, the Pueblo world was free. Freedom restored. With the Spanish gone, Pope and his followers set about the urgent task of restoration. Kivas, sacred ceremonial chambers, were reopened, and suppressed dances and rituals flourished once more. The Pueblo people reclaimed their languages and re-established traditional forms of self-government. For 12 years until the Spanish returned in 1692, the Rio Grande Valley was a place of cultural revival and cautious hope. Yet Pope's leadership was not without challenges. Some Pueblos disagreed with his strict policies and vision of purifying the land of Spanish influence. Old rivalries resurfaced. But the legacy of the 1680 revolt, its rare and resounding success, remained unshakable. The lasting echo Pope died around 1692, just as Spanish reconquest loomed. But his revolution left an indelible mark, not only in the Southwest, but on the history of resistance worldwide. The Pueblo Revolt stands as one of the most successful indigenous uprisings against European colonialism, sending a message that even the most deeply divided people can find common cause and reclaim their future. Today, Pope's story is honored in New Mexico and beyond. His statue stands in the U.S. Capitol's Statuary Hall, a reminder that courage, ingenuity, and unity can change the world. Pueblo communities continue to celebrate the dances, languages, and faiths that Pope fought to protect. In the end, Pope's legacy is not just one of rebellion, but of renewal. His story is a testament to the power of vision and collective action, a lesson as vital now as it was beneath the desert sun of 1680. In every knot tied and untied, every runner who risked all to spread the word, and every prayer whispered in a reopened kiva. The spirit of ripe squash endures, reminding us that freedom is worth fighting for, and that the stories of the past are seeds for the future.